One firm handshake can give you a promise of a new opportunity. One book can get you thinking in a totally different way. One God, one creator blew breath into your lungs. But one mother brought you into this world. One is the absolute greatest number. Thank you, 100 black men. Courage. What does it take? Boys and girls, men and women, it takes courage, as my granddaughter says. What do we mean by courage? Sometimes it's risky not to take a risk. Did you know that? Sometimes it's risky not to take. You gotta have, listen, the average individual in our society gets 4 ideas a year. Any one of which, if you had the guts, the courage, the fortitude to chase your dream, would make you financially independent. We know that financial independence begins with $250,000 a year. That's probably the biggest obstacle to millionaireship. It's financial independence. Why? You get comfortable at that level. $250,000 a year, you play your cards right, you can get anything and everything you wanted to at $250,000 a year. $250,000 a year? Man, I'm comfortable right here. I don't need, man, I'm paying for my child's education, come back, anything I want, vacation whenever you want. Courage. And who is the best example? Bill Gates, William F. Gates. And what do we know about Bill Gates? Go get the case. I always use the, when I'm teaching my MBAs, I always use the Bill Gates case. What do we know about William F. Gates? Do you know he scored a perfect 800 on the math component of the SAT? A perfect 800. And there have been several cases written on him. I always use the Harvard case. Harvard said that he dropped out of Harvard after his freshman year. He went back and they gave him an honorary degree and this, that, and everything. But he only spent 1 year at Harvard. And don't you know, spring semester of his freshman year, he and his best friend Paul Allen, Harvard, they go to a bookstore and they gravitate over to the magazine section and they stumble upon an electronics magazine that's throwing out a challenge for anybody that can come up with an operating system that will allow 2 computers to talk. And this was his epiphany. There's a spirituality about all of this, man. This is his road to Damascus. This is his Saul to Paul conversion. This is his Jonah in the belly of the whale. So what does Bill Gates do? Drops out of Harvard. Tells Harvard it's been real and it's been nice, but it hasn't been real nice. Peace out. What does he do? He goes to the desert, New Mexico, for the next 7 years of his life to fine-tune his dream, come up with an operating system that would allow 2 computers to talk. Go ahead, conduct due diligence. Go ahead, do your content analysis. Let's go back to the early 1980s, 50 million different PC manufacturers, none of them could share data. They had their own platform. They only had their own software and blah, blah, blah. Bill Gates takes his team of 7 out there to come up with an operating system that would allow, regardless of the PC manufacturer, you can share data. 7 years goes by, 7 years of financial hell and high water. Bill Gates has scar tissue, baby. Oh yeah, it depends how the stock market is doing between he and Warren Buffett, who's number 1. Throw in Larry Ellison of Oracle if you want. At last count, Bill Gates, what, 45 billion? You do the math. What is 45 billion a year? $67,000 a second. And after 7 years of getting his teeth kicked in, Bill Gates, what I say, courage? He picks up the phone call and he calls the president of Encyclopedia Britannica. Go read the case. Go get the Harvard case. Hello, my name is William F. Gates, and for the last 7 years, me and my team have been out here in the desert. And, we finally came up with an operating system that will allow 2 computers to talk. And if you get on our desktop, I know you never heard that word before, new jargon, new lexicon in the industry. If you get on our desktop, you can sell all the Encyclopedia Britannicas you want for $10 a pop. And what does the CEO of Encyclopedia Britannica tell a young, impressionable Bill Gates? Young man, $10 a pop? Are you kidding me? Do you know who you're talking to? We're not number one in the U.S., we're number one across the world, and $10 a pop? That will never happen. We sell our set, we sell an entire set for $1,000. Young man, I suggest you call somebody else, click, and hangs up on Bill Gates. Hangs up on him. A few minutes goes by, Bill Gates dusts off his low self-image. And this time he comes up with the courage to make a second phone call. Go read the case. This time he calls the president of Encarta. And to this day, Encyclopedia Britannica can't even give their books away. Go get a new PC, see what they load for you. If you don't want to load, they'll give you the CD. You have it, man. Got truckloads, man, 18-wheelers in the back with this, man. We got to get rid of it some way. So what's the metaphor? What can you learn from this? What are the ideas? What is the vision that you are harboring in your mind, but you have yet to summon up the courage to bust the move? You have yet to summon up the courage to move out, to not only step out, not only stand out, but to show up and make a difference. I'll give you 30 seconds, 30 to 60 seconds right now. Just write it down on a piece of paper right now. If you had the courage, what would you be doing right now? Now let me throw the second punch. And I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about success. If you knew what power and what force walks beside you every day of your life on this journey of life, you would never fear again. 30 to 60 seconds. Now you're going to tell me why you're here. You're going to tell me what you really want to do. Go get your MBA. That's called the Career Development Plan. Have you written a career development plan? And that's not me, that's Harvard. What's the first assignment you're given at Harvard B School? What's the first assignment you were given at Harvard B School? Write your own obituary. First assignment at Harvard B School, write your own obituary. What's the first assignment you're given at the Stern School? Stern School, what's that, NYU? Number 2 in finance. Wharton's number 1. NYU is number 2 in finance. At the Stern School, first assignment you're given is write your own eulogy. And they tell you when you die, make sure that your obituary appears on the pages of the New York Times. Did you know that? Why do I want my obituary on the page of the New York Times? Because only people who are notable and reputable and celebrity get their obituary on the pages of the New York Times. What does the Stern School and what does Harvard have in common? They want to know when it's all said and done, what will others say about you? What will be your legacy? And it's not going to occur without courage.